I'm sure you've all heard about the 3-card Monte, one of the biggest scams on the street since before we were born. What you may not know is that it was first played in the mid-19th century, so around 1860s, and it was quickly expanded upon in the coming years. But the true exposure of that whole effect was by S.W. Erdnase in the book Expert at the Card Table. And why am I telling you this? This trick is not about the 3-card Monte, is it? Well, you're right, this trick is not about the 3-card Monte, it's about the cousin of the 3-card Monte known as New Card Monte. Monte. What up, crew? It is Magic Monday, and this is your place to learn magic, master your performance, and captivate audiences. If you're joining me for the first time, hey there, my name is Vineet, and I go by CardMechanic here on YouTube, unless money's involved. If money is involved, then I choose to remain anonymous. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the New Card Monte, which is a much easier version of the 3-card Monte, and it doesn't really involve any type of betting. Which, if you did not know, you are not actually allowed to play 3-card Monte for money in Canada. Fun fact. But I guess not having betting involved is a good thing, unless you like scamming people. But if that's the case, you should join the You know what? Actually, let's not talk about that here. But seriously, this is a great piece of card magic which will make people lose their minds. So before we begin, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, and now, let's do it. Alright, yo, so check this out. For the first time in a long time, by the way, I'm standing for the performance. I'm always sitting, but today, we're gonna stand. And for those of you who are curious, today we're using these standard bicycle playing cards. And we're not actually gonna need the whole deck, I'm just gonna need 2 cards, for the rest over. And here we have the Ace of Hearts and the 4 of Spades. Now, for this card trick, I would need a spectator, and I would take these cards and put them into the spectator's pocket. But since we don't have a spectator here, we're actually gonna be using my pocket right over here as a spectator's pocket, and we're gonna be using this pocket as my own pocket, being the performer. So first we're going to take these cards and put them into the spectator's pocket. Now I'm going to ask the spectator what card they'd like me to take out. Let's just say they select the Ace of Hearts. We'll take out the Ace of Hearts from their pocket, right? And put that card into my pocket, just like this. Right, so now if we ask the spectator what card's in their pocket, they're going to say it's the 4 of Spades. And if we ask the spectator what's in my pocket, I'm going to say the Ace of Hearts, or they're going to say the Ace of Hearts because the Ace of Hearts is in my pocket. So we'll take out the Ace of Hearts again and put it into the spectator's pocket. So what does the spectator have? That's right, the spectator has the 4 of Spades and the Ace of Hearts. But now this is where it gets good, because if I take out the 4 of Spades and I put it into my pocket, again, just keeping track, we took out the 4 of Spades from here, put it in here. But if I snap, we'll see the spectator still has the 4 of Spades in their pocket, and in my pocket, I have the Ace of Hearts. Alright, yo, so welcome to the tutorial for this card trick. We'll need a deck of playing cards, of course. And that's not all. This card trick actually involves a setup. So if you're able to guess that correctly, good on you. So to give you some background on this effect, it is known as New Card Monte, and it is by Grant from the Encyclopedia of Card Tricks. I think this is a neat little transpo type card trick, so buckle in and let's go ahead and break it down. So like I said, this does involve a bit of a setup. One of the main things you need are pockets, right? You want your own pocket, you want the spectator's pocket, because doing it, here by yourself, it's not as much fun. So first of all, you need pockets. Second thing that you need is a card that has 2 faces, what I like to call a double facer, and I'm sure most people call it a double facer. But so here we have the 4 of Spades and Ace of Hearts on a card like this. But of course, if you don't have double facer cards, you can always just take 2 playing cards and just tape them using double-sided tape back to back, and they'll function just as well. So you have a double facer, and you put the card into your pocket. The way I'm putting it in right now is I have the Ace of Hearts face up, 4 of Spades is facing down, right? So it's going into my pocket like this. Now, when performing this card trick, you of course first take the deck out of the tuck case, and if you'd like, you can give the deck a false shuffle. It doesn't really matter, but if you give it a false shuffle, you want to maintain the cards on top. And if you don't know how to do that, I'll put the link to it on the screen. You can go ahead and check it out. But let's say you give the deck a false shuffle, then you take off 2 cards and make this seem as random as possible. You can say, I'm just going to take out 2 cards from the deck, and you can even throw the deck over to the side, making it seem, very, very nonchalant. I haven't used that word in a while. So anyway, you pretend you have 2 random cards. You're like, oh, I have the 4 of Spades and the Ace of Hearts. What are the chances? Obviously sound more convincing. But I have Ace of Hearts and the 4 of Spades. Now, really, the key to this whole trick is in performance and almost giving some choices to the spectator. So again, you can, what I like to do is I like to just kind of play with these cards a little bit, show the spectator I have 2 cards, take both the cards and place it in their pocket. Now, what would make this a bit more fun and I guess a bit more interactive, is having the spectator name one of those two cards and pull it out themselves. So you can ask the spectator, what card would you like me to take? They would say, I don't know, Ace of Hearts in this case, right? And I guess that would also depend on the orientation of this card, but you can always, go around that during the performance. But let's just say they say Ace of Hearts. So you go into their pocket, they go into their own pocket and they pull out the Ace of Hearts. That's 4 of spades. They pull out the Ace of Hearts. Now what's going to happen is you're going to take this Ace of Hearts, go into your pocket and put it behind the other card. So here I have the other card. You can see it's also Ace of Hearts face up or facing forward. Put it behind that card and leave it in there. Then you ask the spectator, what card do they have in their pocket? What are they going to answer? That's right, the 4 of spades. So you can ask them to show that card. They can show that card. They have 4 of spades. And then you can show that you have, and you pull out the front ace, right? So the double-sided ace where you're going to pull out. You pull out that card and say that you have the Ace of Hearts. Now what you're going to tell them is you're going to take the Ace of Hearts and put it into their pocket. Again, make sure not to flash the other side. Put it into their pocket. And then you pull out both cards saying that they have the 4 of spades and the Ace of Hearts. As you push that back in, now you're saying you're going to take the 4 of spades. So as your hand is in their pocket, keep in mind this is your hand in their pocket, as you pull out, you want to turn the Ace of Hearts over. So what's going on inside the actual pocket is you're coming out, and as you come out, you're turning this card over and saying that you're taking out the 4 of spades. So what you've really just done is you've left the original 4 of spades there and you just turned your card over. And now you say you're going to take the 4 of spades. Again, put it behind the other card, just makes it easier to grab for later on. Put it behind the actual Ace of Hearts. And you can either snap, ask the spectator what card is where. They're obviously going to say their pocket has the Ace of Hearts. And you ask them to pull it out because the more interaction that they do, the more actions they take during the cold card trick, they'll be much more impressed. They're like, oh my god, it's the 4 of spades. I have the 4 of spades. And then you can go ahead and pull out that one single card. Again, the front card, which will be the Ace of Hearts. And you can hand both of these to the spectator because, again, you're coming out completely clean. The only thing is you have this one card in your pocket, which most likely no one really asks you about. But there you have the new card, Monte. The most difficult part of this trick, I would say, is when the card has to be flipped in the spectator's pocket and then taken out. It took me a bit of practice to actually get that down, so I'd recommend practicing with a friend. This way they can tell you if they feel it or not. And even really practice throwing in a bit of misdirection, whether that be a tap on their shoulder or direct eye contact and talking them through what's happening. It would really take a lot of that attention away. So given that practice, you'll get it down in no time and it'll be virtually undetectable. Well, I hope you enjoyed this effect, and if you want to check out some more cool stuff, click on this video right here. If not, thanks again so much for watching. It's always a pleasure having you here. Have a great day ahead, and I hope to see you maybe in that video. If not, I'll see you soon.